I'm also looking into filing a bill that will ban the use of tarpaulin during elections because the tarps takes about 1,000 years to decompose. Patay na po tayong lahat, nandiyan pa ang mga tarp na may mga pagmumukha natin lahat. The tarpaulins end up in landfills and sometimes in bodies of water too, causing pollution and flood. We have to continue working on more laws that would reverse the damage we have done. Again, I commend the effort of MFS, my favorite senator, Lauren Legarda. I would like to associate myself with the privileged speech of the very intelligent and beautiful Senator Lauren Legarda. Madam, if anyone can testify to the effects of climate change, it is us Filipinos. Last year when Typhoon Karding hit the Philippines, it gave new meaning to rapid intensification when it blew up from a tropical storm with 50 miles per hour winds to a Category 5 monster with 155 miles per hour the next day. Signal number 5 po. Nung kabataan ko po, signal number 3, dilubyo na yon. At kung sasabihin mo na may signal number 5, malamang end of the world na po yun mga panahon na yon. Every year, we're bearing the brunt of climate change. It is clear that climate change increases the upper limit on typhoon strength and rain rate. That is also raises the average sea level and storm surge. Every year, the damage is exponentially increased by the wind speed. Storm surges, landslides, and floods have claimed lives, destroyed livelihood, halted business operations, and damaged utility infrastructures. Unfortunately, parang nasasanay na lang po tayo na taon-taon ay nasasalanta tayo ng bagyo at libu-libong buhay ang naapektuhan at bilyon ang halaga ng nawawala sa kagamitan at negosyo nating lahat. We should not get used to this. We should not rely on our people's resilience. Instead, we have to enact measures that could reverse or temper climate change. I am full support of all climate change policies that could recover our environment for our future generation. As chairman of the Committee on Energy, it is my priority to provide policies that would launch the use of sustainable sources of energy or clean energy. I filed a zero food waste bill that would address food waste that contributes to climate change, since food left in landfills release methane, a powerful greenhouse gas 25 times stronger than carbon dioxide. Methane gas lingers for 12 years and traps heat from the sun. Our irresponsible use of food products has an adverse impact on the physical and land itself. Moreover, it harms the biodiversity of the environment ecosystems. Thank you, Mr. President. And by the way, Madam Senator, yung inyo pong suggestion kanina, noted po yun. Isishare ko po yan sa aking mga subscribers, yung pong inyong lahat ng programa sa climate change at sa mga food security. I will always be at your service. Just let me know and I'll be there for you. Salamat po, Mr.
Maraming
President.
salamat. Isa lang po hihingiling ko.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa dami-daming gusto nating gawin, kung ang 25 million followers mo sa YouTube ay sundin lang niya ang RA 9003,
Okay.
Ecological Solid Waste Management Law, na ngayon nag-celebrate tayo ng Zero Waste Month dahil 22 years na yung batas sa paghihiwalay ng basura sa nabubulok at hindi nabubulok, ay ang laking utang na loob ko at makakatulong talaga sa maraming mahihirap sa atin. Pagkatapos po ng ating sesyon, kasama ng inyong mga staff, tignan po nyo ang mga ehemplo kung paano ang dumi ng karagatan at ng informal settler areas nakakaawa dahil sa napakaraming plastic na hindi po sinesegregate o hinihiwalay ang basura. Kaya sa dami po ng ating pinag-usapan, maski yun na lang ang ecological solid waste management. Ang paghiwalay ng basura sa nabubulok, hindi nabubulok, ang laking bagay. Kung ma-impluensya nyo, maudyok nyo ang inyong 25 million YouTube. Dahil ako hanggang ngayon wala pa pong YouTube. Makiki-YouTube na lang ako sa inyo. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Well said. Done na po yun. I'll do it, as you say. Thank you po.
Thank you, Senator RAFFY TULFO. And before we recognize the majority leader, we'd like to commend our Senate President Pro Tempore for consistently fighting and advocating issues on preservation of environment. Kahit na para ka man lone voice before, nobody cares about the environmental issues before. But clearly, it's a clear and present danger that we really have to act with urgency regarding global warming and climate change. So we commend our Senate President Pro Tempore for that.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Majority
Presiding
Leader.
Officer, Majority
Yes, Mr.
Leader.
President. Mr. President, I'd like to associate myself to the privileged speech delivered by our Senate President Pro Tempore, Senator Loren Legarda, and would like to put on record, Mr. President, that during the recent annual meeting at Davos, it was highlighted that 3.6 billion people worldwide are dangerously exposed and vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Countries do not have equal footing in terms of the impacts that will be felt, but no country and no economy is immune from the climate crisis. And so we thank the distinguished lady, our Senate President Pro Tempore, Senator Loren Legarda, for being consistent and being contagious as well, Mr. President, because ever since I joined this August chamber, I'm being influenced by our Senate President Pro Tempore. Kanina, Mr. President, I made mention about the Biennale, Mr. President. I was asked to go there. I was in Milan. I was pulled by our good friend, Senator Legarda, to go to Biennale and then come back to Milan, Italy, Mr. President, and she's not aware that it will take all of my day, Mr. President, that day. But I wouldn't mind, and I'm so happy that I was part of it. Mr. President, I also would like to put on record that last Congress, we filed a bill requiring companies to have a clear plan on the disposal and recycling of beverage containers. And this bill was eventually integrated into this extended Producers Responsibility Act, or Republic Act number 11898. Thank you to our dear colleagues headed by Senator Cynthia Villar. And this Congress, Mr. President, we continue to advocate for the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative Act, or EITI. The Department of Finance already throw in their wholehearted support on this particular measure, because this will be Freedom of Information Act for the extractive industries, Mr. President. And we are glad to note that no less than Senator Legarda was very influential in this representation's advocacies to push for these measures, including the Single-Use Plastics Regulation and Management Act, SBN number 246, which this representation co-authored. So again, Mr. President, we would like to thank our dear colleague, Senator Legarda, for this privileged speech, and we are in full support of her advocacy in ensuring that we will have a better Philippines. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader. Thank you for sharing the advocacy. Thank you for your vigor and your passion. Thank you to all our esteemed colleagues for their support, not just for me, it's really for us, for the whole Filipino people and the next generation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Noong mga nakaraang taon, naitigil po ang pagpapadala natin sa Kuwait dahil sa mga insidenteng katulad na nangyari kay Julie B. Noong 2018 sa Kuwait din, may namatay na Filipino domestic helper na si Joanna Dimafilis na natagpuang patay sa isang freezer. At noong 2019, si Jeneline Villavende naman ay na-rape at namatay din sa Kuwait. Na-lift ang ban dahil nangako na ayusin ng gobyerno ng Kuwait ang kondisyon ng ating mga OFWs sa kanilang bansa. Ngayon, ito na namang karumal-dumal na pangyaring ang sinapit ng isa nating kababayan. Bakit kapag ang ating OFW pumunta ng abroad, kinakailangan nila ng police clearance, barangay clearance, NBI clearance, napakaraming clearance, parang kinailangan nilang dumaan sa butas ng karayom bago sila ma-deploy para masiguro na yung ating mga OFW ay walang record, hindi masamang tao pagdating doon sa Saudi. Pero bakit ito mga employer, wala man lang silang isinusumite na kahit na anong record na magpapatunay na sila ay malinis, na ma-okay ang kanilang pagkatao, para masiguro na safe ang ating mga OFWs. Lumilitaw, marami sa mga employers ay may mga criminal records, mga dating rapists, mga dating kriminal, dating mga manloloko, loko-loko, at hindi po na-screen. Yan po ang isa sa mga bagay na sinisiguro ko po na matutugunan na ng ating DMW to make sure kung ating mga OFWs ay well screened bago pumunta ng abroad, dapat din ang mga employers na tatanggap sa kanila, sila din po ay well screened to make sure na maganda kanilang record at hindi mapapahamak ang ating mga OFWs na tatanggap sa kanila roon. Isa pa po, tama po si Senator Jinggoy, ay monitoring. Yan din po ang aking sinasuggest noon pa. Kulang po sa monitoring. Palagay ko po may pagkukulang dito ang ating mga otoridad. I'm very sure, bago maganap ang rape dito kay Jollibee, meron na pong mga ginagawang hindi magaganda itong kanyang amo. And I'm sure siya po ay nakapagsumbong because hindi naman po agad-agad rapin po ng isang amo doon ang ating OFW right there and then. Meron po tinatawag na pagnanasa. Meron po tinatawag na pag-attempt. And doon pa lamang ang ating OFW for sure, yan po yung nagsumbong sa ating mga kinaukulan, sa agency, sa FRA, Foreign Recruitment Agency, o dili kaya nagsumbong sa Polo. Pero ano ang ginagawang aksyon? Usually, sa akin po karanasan, A, sasabihin po ng mga recruitment agency, magtiyaga-tiyaga ka lang muna. B, parating ng replacement mo. And then C, tatakbong OFW sa Polo. Pagdating sa Polo, kadalasan, walang sumasagot sa telepono. At kapag meron man, tatamad-tamad. Another thing, Madam President, na na-notice ko nung last hearing namin, consultative meeting, akin pong napansin na ayon po doon sa DMW at sa mga nakausap ko doon sa consultative meeting, 100 OFWs ang ni-recruit ng isang pangkaraniwang agency papuntang abroad. Just imagine, 100 OFWs a month para ang isang recruitment agency ay matatawag na isang agency karapat-dapat na magpadala ng mga workers sa abroad. Just imagine, 100 OFWs kada buwan. Sa isang taon, that is 1,200 OFWs.